Alright, we are installing exhaust in a box on this C10 here. So you saw me put the headers on. They were the Summit headers. Now this is the Summit header back exhaust kit, the DIY kit. Comes with a box full of clamps, I think gaskets, whatever. And then it requires mufflers, at least that's what it says online. These mufflers here are actually mufflers that came off of the '79 Corvette when I bought the car. So I took them off, kept them, threw them in my shed, hoarded them, knew I'd use them one day. So these are 17731. They are the Super Turbo something like that Dynomax mufflers. They're actually gonna work perfectly. It's offset and center both sides, so it's gonna work out perfectly. I cleaned them up, painted them. They're a little dirty now, but whatever, they're mufflers. So let's start laying this out and see what this is supposed to look like. So taking a look at the instructions here, this kit was specifically designed for the Super Turbo muffler with the same part number. However, the diameters of this do not match what's listed here, 2 1/4. So this is 2 1/4 piping size. These mufflers are actually 2 3/8. Kind of odd, but these mufflers are gotta be at least 30 years old. So maybe something changed at some point. On the back side here, we have the diagram of what it's supposed to look like. Every piece has a label. It's like we're assembling some IKEA furniture or something. So let's get this laid out, see what it looks like. Here's the driver's side all laid out. So directions say the intermediate pipe you may need to cut. I think that's for the short wheelbase, since this is long wheelbase. Actually it looks like it lines up pretty good. First step, this bracket, this was a hanger for the catalytic converter. We need to remove this, and I think the only way to get it off is by undoing this transmission mount, because it looks to be connected to that. So I got the trans jack supporting the transmission. We'll bust out the 2 nuts. I got 1 out already, and we'll see if this just kind of comes out. So 1 bolt's still in. It's being a little stubborn for some reason. It's like almost out. There was 2 more bolts, 1 on the inside here and then 1 over here. Both of them were loose, but it seems to be wiggling, and I might be able to get it out. Hanger part removed. Now I was actually showing it backwards. The part that has the extension, I guess, and then the curl is actually to the front, because then it goes up and over the cross member here and then out to the back where the muffler is going to meet up with it. So now that we have the up and over, what I was researching and finding is the connection here, you don't just weld it straight on. If you see, I kind of have it at an angle and it's still touching the cross member. So we're going to want to make sure we fully bolt up this collector piece and take our time, because we're going to have to weld it on an angle, possibly cut it, something like that. So with the pipe the correct way, it actually does fit over the collector there. Just sand off the paint and it slides right in. Working on the passenger side here, I have it laid out correctly this time. And this is roughly how it goes together. You got the big opening here. I think that's a 2.5 inch opening that goes onto the header collector. Either weld, clamp, or slide it in, depending on your muffler situation. For me, these should be able to just slide in there, and then another OD ID situation where it just slides over, up and over the rear axle, and then out is the tailpipe. So let's see if we can get this installed. Take the header collector and go ahead and just sand off the paint that's on the edges here. That way it can slip in a lot easier. Under. See, it kind of works like that too. And it slides over And I'm touching the parking brake cable. Turn it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, that's how it's supposed to go. So you saw it slid right in, no problem. And then it's under the cross member on this side, over on the driver's side. And it seems to actually fit very well. If you turn it a little bit towards the center of the car, plenty of room, parking brake cable's not going to hit. And then it's just a matter of lining this up to the muffler just like on that side. Now here's a tip. So this pipe is supposed to slide right into your muffler if you got the 1773 one muffler. Now if you didn't, no worries, you can figure that out. But the pipe over here is also just supposed to slide right in. So if it's not sliding in this case it is, but if it's not, you just take one of these exhaust expander kits, slide it in, pump it up just a little bit. Don't go super tight, don't even use an impact gun, just go tight enough. And all these really do, they don't really expand, they just make sure that the circular pipe is circular again. And that's enough to get it over. So let's put the rear axle piece in, just to kind of hang it over the axle. We do have a, is this a vent line or a brake line or something in the way? So let's make sure we route around that. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go up and over or what. Okay, taking this piece, a bigger diameter on the back side, this should just slide right in, which it does. Okay. Now I'm not sure what side this pipe's supposed to go on, but I do know it slides in. So let's get this in. Might be like that. Okay, got everything completely mocked up. We're about ready to start welding. So this is about where I'm gonna have the tip end up be. It's a little loose, and I'll show you why and how I'm gonna fix that. But it sticks out just a little bit past the body, but not overly. This one has a little nick. Probably need to clean this up with like a grinder or something. But just a little bit past the body, not too much, and just behind the rear tire. Got a jack stand just kind of supporting it to keep in the right spot. Now if we take a look underneath, driver's side here, so use the supplied clamps with the hanger to an existing bolt hole up here with the 90 bracket that came with it. So all this came with it, worked out perfect, holds it good spot. Same thing on the passenger side. It's the same bracket with the same hole that already exists, so just follow the same process here, holds it up just fine. Now what I was saying about the tailpipe, it's a little loose, and it's because of this connection right here. It's a little loose. So once we secure this, and the way I'm going to do it is most likely weld, unless I want to put a clamp here. I'm still debating, because I do want to put a clamp somewhere so I can take this off and it's not just one welded piece of pipe. But once we secure this, it won't be able to twist anymore, because right now I can twist it. So once we secure that, that won't happen anymore, and that's all we need to do. Driver's side, big bracket here. If you cut this out, cut the rivets out, whatever, it will give you so much more room. But I don't think you actually need to. I think it can exist as is. It's not touching right now. It's close, but it's not touching. Even if it was touching, at worst, maybe you get a noise, and then you just kind of address it. If it is touching, you get a noise, just cut it off. Now this side can go a lot more vertical because there's nothing here. So, and now this isn't in the line of the path of the drive shaft, but it is close. Alright, I fully welded up the exhaust, so this is how I'm doing it. Fully welded up from the collector to the muffler, extension pipe, and then we're going to clamp it here. And so this is going to be one piece, the rest is going to be removable. Now, I didn't show the welding process because it's not a welding video, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm figuring out, learning as I go. This is my first time welding a full exhaust, second time welding ever. So, welded it, painted it up. I tacked it up while I was under the car, and then brought it onto my table here, welded it up. That way I knew it didn't move or anything. So now we are able to install this completed product. As we see, the tailpipe just sticks out just a little bit. I think it sticks a little bit further out here, and it's a little down, but it is mounted sturdy. So let me show you underneath. So underneath the car here, you can see the collector with the gasket that was included with the headers in. And it goes up and over. It's close to the subframe, but it's not going to touch it, never will. And then the muffler tucked up. It's actually touching that piece right there. I never did cut it off, but just took it for a drive. Couldn't hear it at all, so I guess it's fine. And then we have my first clamp situation. So using the supplied clamps, found an existing hole up there. And then, yeah, it's all one piece, as you saw earlier. And then here is my clamp section, the detachable section. I had to purchase a 2 1/4 inch clamp. I actually needed a 2 1/4 inner diameter, but I guess this was an outer diameter, so I had to force it on, but it's in, it's holding it nice and tight. And then up and over the axle into the factory exhaust mount hanger right there. And this is solid. It's actually up against the body. I'd probably like it a little lower like that, but that's solid. Passenger side collector here with the gasket welded up, and as you saw, fits pretty good. And then it tucks up. Muffler just kind of tucks up in there, nowhere near the drive shaft. And then the hanger on this side, same spot as the driver's side, same configuration, just whatever was supplied in the exhaust kit. And as well, we have a clamp once again right on this, so it's detachable from the axle back. Then it goes up and over the axle, and the axle has a vent tube. I just zip tied it to that brake line right there to keep the rubber hose out of the way. And then at the end here, I had to create this hanger, again using what was supplied, and clamped it in there. It's in there tight, and this is mounted solid because of the clamp that's up there. Now enough talking, let's give it a listen. As you can hopefully hear, it sounds pretty good. It's not that loud. Really, if you wanted loud, even a little loud, these are not the mufflers for you. The Super Turbo Dynomax mufflers. These are quiet. However, they have that good classic muscle car tone. You really feel the bass. It's nice. Not overbearing, no, not too loud, nothing like that. Now to wrap this up, I welded the exhaust and then clamped it in the back for the axle back. You do not need to weld, so good news if you don't have access to a welder, can't weld, You can just clamp the entire exhaust and it's gonna work perfectly. I think that's really cool, really awesome kit here. Good instructions, and I mean, these C10s are all over the place. Everyone's modifying them, touching them, so you're gonna find answers to any questions you have on these things. So that's awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.